Well, how y'all are this afternoon? It's your buddy George Jones over at the Bergen Basement Range with my next installment on let's look at a couple of M1 rifles. So here's my good old Winchester M1 rifle that you've seen many times. Uh, it's a nice rifle. It's in great shape. It's a Winchester. Has mostly Winchester parts in it. And it's good. It's all right. We've shot it a lot, and you're going to see it shot on camera some more later on. Let's talk about another M1 rifle. This is a Springfield Armory rifle. This guy was put together in the late 1960s, early 1970s for commercial sale. It has a small difference between the original M1 rifle. It's a little shorter. As a matter of fact, it's about 6.5 inches shorter and weighs about 1.5 pounds less. This is the rifle referred to as the Tanker, a Tanker M1. Now, a Tanker M1 is a fantasy thing. In the mid-1950s, they decided that they would like to have more firepower for a tank crew, a armored vehicle operator, crew member, or vehicle crewman, or have an M1 rifle suitable for paratroopers. So they manufactured about 2,000 of these at Springfield Arsenal, which became Springfield Armory, about 1955. So they sent some of them off to Aberdeen Proving Ground to be tested and proved out. They were proved out. Aberdeen did accept them. But along about that same time, they adopted the M14 rifle, and they decided that the M2 carbine and the grease gun would be the weapon that tank crews would have to defend themselves individually. So they started taking and putting 2 grease guns and 3 carbines in tanks. So they went back and they destroyed almost all of the testing and proving tanker configuration M1s. Well, and that was the end of it. Aniston got a few of them at the museum warehouse, and that was about the size of it. Everything about this thing is just like a regular M1 rifle, except everything's been shortened up. The opera's been shortened, the spring has been shortened, the barrel has been shortened, the accelerator tube, front side assembly, and everything else is the same as an M1. It's just been shortened up 6.5 inches. So how do I come to have this one? Well, in the 1960s, in the late 1960s, Springfield Armory became a private company instead of being a arsenal of the American government. So the name and quite a bit of the materials that were manufactured and held in warehouse and arsenal by Springfield Arsenal fell into private hands. This came about because a group of Camp Perry shooters and an investment group got together and bought it out from the government. And they wound up with a lot of stuff. Receivers, barrels, stocks, trigger groups, thousands of them. And they set about to make new manufactured M1 rifles. They started making the rifle that became known as the M1A, which is a semi-automatic version of the M14. They assembled M1As and originally on receivers for M14s that had been cut out to accept a selector mechanism. That went over real well. They manufactured the Tanker. They manufactured the Tanker in 30-06, 308, 270, 243. and like that. This rifle, individual rifle, is a 30-06 version, but someone has put a chamber adapter in it to allow it to shoot 308. And the 308 just doesn't have enough get up and go to cycle the M1 action. So I've ordered a chamber adapter for it. And when we get it in, we'll have it over at the range shooting it as a 30-06. So I wanted to familiarize you a little bit with the concept of the tanker version of the M1 rifle before we go to the range with it. And that's about the size of that lecture. So if I can get Ed to turn the camera off, we'll turn it off. Well, hey y'all, this afternoon. This is your buddy George Jones over here at the bad camera angle. Let's see if we can work that out a little better. There we go. With my next installment on, well, let's troubleshoot a little bit. So, recently we looked at this gun on the bench top, the M1 tanker, and it's got a problem. So it's short strokes. It'll eject one, but it won't drive the bolt back far enough to pick up the next one and put it in chamber. Now there's a lot of reasons why an M1 would have that problem. One of them is the gas hole out here, the gas vent out here on the end of it's not big enough. That could be the problem. One of the problems is that this part, the gas tube, could be worn out and have too much blow by. It has a tappet plug in it, which is the plug with the gas relief in it, which if you don't have an M7 grenade launcher on there, it's not an issue. But it can leak. So having more than one M1 rifle comes in kind of handy when you got a problem with an M1 rifle, because you can pull parts off one, put it on the other, and see if you've improved your situation on the one that's not acting right, which is where we're at right now. I pulled the tappet plug, 8-ring, and gas cylinder off of this guy and put it on this guy. So now we're going to test the fire it a little bit and see if we can get it to work right. If I can get down to the bottom of my wife's purse and find a clip with 308s in it, because this is a 308 gun. The problem may be the chambering. It may have been where the tanker has got a shoulder adapter in the chamber, and to make it 308 instead of 30-06. So that may be our problem. But we're going to try and get the workifications out here on it and see if we can get it. We're just working our way through it, trying to figure out just exactly what's wrong with it. All right, put the guy in the battery, take it off safe, lay it up over the block, see if we can get it to sickle. Okay, the hammer's back and it's back in battery. Let's see if it's got one in it. I think I found our problem. I think I found the problem. Yeah, I think I found the problem. Whoops. And we may have a problem with our retaining spring. So down in here, there's a little spring. It's literally a little tab of a spring that corresponds to this notch on the clip. And it may have gone south and doesn't release the clip and allow it to fly out at the end of the firing cycle. Well, let's try another clipazine here, and see how it goes. I bought this rifle specifically to go to Texas this summer and hunt wild hogs out of a side-by-side at one of the adventure ranches. You know, you don't have to worry about a canned hunt in Texas. You know, there's enough hogs running around that guys can get out and drive around their soybean fields and you can shoot them. It's not a problem. You know, it's going to get eventually in East Texas to the point that it'll be like prairie dogs in South Dakota. They'll have billboards up, please come shoot our hogs, you know. Free lunch and ammo. I mean, it's like that in prairie dog country. Oop, short stroked. Yep. Short stroked. Short stroked again. Why? Why did it short stroke that time? Why did it shoot 8 that time and short stroke now? Maybe I didn't find my problem. Bolt action. Bolt action M1. Yep. Okay. And I short stroked it. Well, that was federal 147 grain ball. Let's see. 2 clips. I had 1 clip loaded with Arms car and 1 clip loaded with Federal. And 1 clip worked perfectly and 1 was a bolt action. So we're going to try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to try a clip with Arms car, which is also 147 grain full metal jacket, ball type ammo. Okay, and then we're going to try 1 clip with Federal. This is the Federal ammunition that comes in the white box that I got at Walmart. Okay, this is Federal. This is the Arms core. I don't know how the Philippines can manufacture ammunition for commercial sale when they've got so much of a need for it, with the Shining Path Muslim guerrilla group trying to take over their country. All right, Arms car. Okay. Take that out of there. Let's put the Federal in. See what happens. No good. Shot a whole clip, and then right back to short stroking again. Shot a whole clip, right back to short stroking again. Okay. No, don't say lubrication, because there's a whole grease pot in this. The whole grease pot on that thing. In for a penny, in for a pound. Let's try some of this Pakistani crap. What is this? I'll try anything at this point in the game. Got back the bag. I don't know the nation of origin of this 308 ammunition. It says 308 WC 308 WC. Looks like some kind of repackaged surplus ammunition. You can actually see the marks where it was on link at one time. I like the look of it, but I'll get it to work. I seriously believe that that chamber adapter has something to do with it. All right. Alright, I'm about done with this video. It's like, we ain't getting anywhere. I don't even feed. Well, I think it's about time just to quit with it. Yeah. Really? Well, there's an M-1 that don't work. Period. Alright, in for a penny, in for a pound. Let's see if the old Winchester M1 works with that gas tube on it. If that works with the gas tube from the other one on it. Well, I'm saying are you kidding me? Come on. I'm not having a very good M1 day. Well, what have we learned? What have we learned in this experiment? That gas tube is probably okay. And that gas tube, this one, is probably okay. And this gun doesn't work, and this one does. The next step is to drill out the gas port on the tanker's barrel and see if we can't enlarge it a little bit, maybe get more gas out of it. So that's the next experiment. All right then, we'll see you when we see you. Y'all are. Welcome to the last and third installment on, hey, I bought a Tanker Garand. Well, the Tanker Garand has turned into quite a trilogy. Actually, the Tanker Garand has turned into just a plain old Garand. That's where it went. So how did we get here? Well, first thing, the op rod on the Tanker Garand was bent. So we tried to tweak it back in and get it straight. It broke. So a replacement Tanker Garand, op rod is $500 because it has to be made from a regular tanker, or it has to be made from a regular M-1 op rod, cut down and TIG welded back together, and the failure rate on that is pretty high. So they're $500. You can find one. Now there's a couple of places that got them. You can check out the price yourself. So the next thing was, because the op rod on the tanker was bent, it wore out the inside of the gas tube, and it had too much blow-by in it. And we gauged it and looked at it, measured it in different ways, and found out that it was just not right. So it was a replacement for that. So, all things considered, when we looked at the price of parts and the aggravation of putting one back together and probably having the same problems again, we just decided the thing to do was to take the tanker and rebarrel it and make a real gun out of it, which is what's happened. So we're going to shoot the real gun a little bit and see how it actually shoots as a real gun. If I can find some real ammo to go with it. Oh, look, it's up there. Here's some real ammo. Well, it's almost real ammo. This is the POF 30-06 from Pakistan. Does it shoot? Yeah, but you can put it up in the corner and listen to it rust if you don't clean it good. Oh, no Garand thumb here, buddy. I know how to load an M1. See that little finger? There, that's how you load one. All right, we'll take a few shots up here and see if I can hit anything with the newly rebarreled tanker. Well, at least you're on the backstop, ain't it? Mm-hmm. That was a hit.
Make a move.
That was a hit. That was a hit. That was kind of a miss. Not bad. Not too shabby. Oh, I dropped my dollar. Actually, they're a lot more than $1 nowadays. Okay, so what if you're left-handed? Like I am. How do you load one if you're left-handed? Well, I tell you, you just don't. Okay? Get over there like that. Put your finger up here like this. Push it down in there with your thumb. Wait till it trips a little bit. And if it don't go by itself, do a little forward assist and you're ready to go. And you're back in action. Crawl up in that rear sight where you can see what you're doing. Oh, it's rather hot.
You're hitting it.
Of course I'm hitting it. I'm a good shot. At least at this range. Home range advantage.
Make it sing.
Well, that's enough. Ooh.
Lay it on there.
All right. Anybody see where my $3.50 went?
It's right here, George.
So, you go over to Forgotten Weapons and look at all the problems Ian McCullough had with his tanker Garand. I wasn't prepared to go through all of that. So we just have to call it another M1. All right then. Like-a-tate, share-a-pie, commentate, and subscribe. Leave me a $1 in the Patreon bucket if you want to. If you don't, I'll keep right on making content for you. Join the NRA. We kind of need them right now. They're the only organization that'll sue, USCCA. If you're giving your money to USCCA, they're giving you some little trinkets back, but your big money's going to George Soros. All right then. God bless America, and God bless each and every one of us, except a few people I can think of. All right then. We'll see y'all. Bye now.